Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Total Brohammer, and as you can see, today we'll be taking the Skaven against the Dwarves of Janet on occasion. So, this is the third game in the best of 5 between myself and Janet on occasion that was hosted on ItalianSpartacus' channel, and both their channels will be in the description. So let's go over some army compositions here. So we're actually playing on the Steps of Aisha, one of the Steps of Aisha maps, so it's pretty interesting here, and apparently it's supposed to be a multiplayer map, but you don't see it in the multiplayer rotation, or at least I haven't seen any of the Step of Aisha maps, so kind of a waste. Why would you add maps to a game if you're not even going to put it into the multiplayer? Most people don't get to play on. But ItalianSpartacus wanted us to play on an interesting map that people don't often see, so here we go. So let's go over the army compositions here. I have 4 Skaven slaves in the front line. I have a front line of 2 clanners on each side, as well as 3 Stormvermin with sword and shield. And now, you might be thinking, Stormvermin with sword and shield? Well, they don't have good AP. Why would you bring them against a very armored faction like the Dwarfs? Well, I've also got 4 groups of Death Runners. And Death Runners have a amazing ability here called, what's it called here? Which one is it? Which one is it? Oh, it's right here. The Weeping Blade, minus 50% armor. So the idea here, and I actually got it from Sakarma, was to have these guys lower the armor of his infantry, which, let's see some of his infantry. So 85 armor, 100 armor. So yeah, bring them down to about medium armor levels, and have these Stormvermin with sword and shield just perform way better against them. And since I wasn't expecting a lot of armor piercing from the Dwarfs, since you don't usually see Stormvermin against the Dwarfs, I was thinking that these guys would trade very well with Longbeards and things like that with the armor debuff from the Death Runners. So as you can see, I got 2 over here and 2 over here, and I'm going to be popping the smoke bomb on these guys and sending them around the flank here. As well, I've also got Scroll. He's just an amazing lord and assassin. You always see me, if you watch my videos, you know I almost always choose these guys. I love them so much. I mean, Scroll's not going to be able to get hit by guns, and it's pretty great here. I like it a lot. Besides that, I do have 1 Doomwell. So, a Doomwell chariot. Single entity chariots are so powerful in Warhammer 2. It's not cheesy to bring 1, but I really do hate those builds that have like 3 of them, and I think that is quite cheesy, because they are so powerful, especially against a faction like the Dwarves. But I didn't want to bring too many of them in case he had a bunch of Thunderers. So let's go over Janet's army here. As you can see, I have these guys stocked with concealment bombs. I'm going to be sitting around the corner, like I said. He's got a really good anti-Skaven army here. He's got 4 miners with blasting charges in the front line here. They will absolutely wreck my Skaven slaves. But that's also why I have Skaven slaves in the front line. I want them to take all the miners with blasting charges here. So that's going to work out really well for me. He's also got 2 rangers here. He's got the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. He's got the Grumling Guard over here, who are a unit of Longbeards, Regiment Renowned of Longbeards. He's got 2 Slayers, including the Dragonback Slayers. And he's got 1, 2, 3 Longbeards here. So he does have some armor piercing here, and those guys are going to be a problem for me. But the rest of his army is low on armor piercing all around. These minor blasting charges actually do armor piercing damage, so that is something to note there. Besides that, he also has a bolt thrower, and if you're wondering why he has a bolt thrower, it's because a bolt thrower can be really good at sniping Skaven artillery. So I really do like that pick, and it's really cheap too, $5.50. And if you can snipe out 1 piece of Skaven artillery, then it's got as much worth. Right now, it's going to be shooting at this Doomwell. Fortunately, I do have the Doomwell in the forest here. For his lord, he's got a Rune Lord and a Thanes. So let's go ahead and kick the battle into gear here. Sorry about that long intro there. So I'm just going to be sending my Skaven slaves up front, and they're just going to be taking a lot of blasting charges. As you can see, he's shooting a Scroll here, but since he's a single entity target, they're not doing. A lot of their shots are missing. I'm going to go ahead and summon up some more rats here so they can take some more blasting charges to keep my my Death Runners and my Stormvermin safe from all that kind of jazz too. So I'm going to be sending Skrolk and the Assassin after the Rune Lord here, because I want to be able to take him out fast. As you see, I am getting engaged. He does get a nice round with his nice side flank with his Longbeards right here. And now we got some runes going down. We got Tormentor Sword going down. I've popped Concealment Bomb on my Assassin. We got Stand Your Ground going down. As you can see, we're lowering armor across the board, and the Stormvermin are performing quite well. The Bolthor has done a lot of damage to my Doomwheel, but now the Doomwheel's coming in here and he's going to be spreading fear and terror and just doing an immense amount of damage. As you can see, the two Death Runners are now coming into battle here. I'm going to have them go after the Longbeards. And I am summoning Plague Monks and Clan Rats all over the place with Skrulk. So right here in the center here, we got the battle of all the heroes and lords. Skrulk is fighting the Rune Lord and the Thane, and the Assassin is providing a lot of debuffs in the area. So his Rival High Talisman as well as his, what's it called, Trophy Heads. So you see here, my plan here is to have the Doomwheel just go through the lines and try to draw Slayers into the front line. But I gotta say, Janet does a great job in this battle at just keeping his Slayers back. So as you can see, they're running in here, but he is going to pull them back in a second. Going to summon some Clan Rats on these Rangers right here to stop them from firing. Or actually, those are actually Plague Monks. And, you know, this Bolthor is doing a really good job at hitting up this Doomwheel. The Doomwheel is causing a lot of fear and terror. We have broken through the miners on this side, and you see the Death Runners and Stormvermin are just doing a great job. And now we're in the back line, and this back line is totally, it's just a mess over here. As you can see, Skrulk and the Assassin are about trading evenly with the Thane and the Rune Lord over here. And these, the Skaven Slaves and these Death Runners are doing some really good damage to these Longbeards over here, as well as lasting a really long time. This is a bad trade for me, though. He's actually got both groups of his Slayers on these Death Runners. And what Janet, on occasion, is trying to do here is he's trying to actually take out all my Death Runners, because if he can take out my Death Runners, like he's using his Runes of Wrath and Ruin on them, he's having his Slayers go after him, because Death Runners only have 20 armor, so Slayers will perform very well against him. And they actually have low damage themselves since they are armor piercing, so what's that, only 30? But 36 melee attack and 36 melee defense, not terrible stats, I gotta say. But he's just trying to take these guys out, because he figures if he can destroy the armor sundering, then these Stormvermin with Sword and Shield aren't going to perform well at all. So that's the idea with there. As you can see, my Doomwheel is causing some terror routing on the right flank here. I'm going to try to have these Clan Rats chase these Warriors Dragonfire past and make sure they don't come back here. So I have the Doomwheel coming around, just charging in everywhere, and I gotta say, he did a lot of damage to it, but I think he should have use the Tormentor Sword on these guys and not Skrulk and stuff. So I'm just summoning more rats, just to summon more rats. And as you can see, his Slayers are in really good health here, but we got his back line it's all over the place. So I'm going to be running over here, just surrounding what's left of these Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Got the Doomwheel coming in, and these guys are going to ride off pretty soon here. So over here, I got Lord Skrulk, and he's popping his, what's that ability called? Let me see. Oh, I mean, there's a lot of abilities going down. Oh, you know what? There's too many abilities going down for me to even really care. Rod of Corruption, actually, I do remember. And I've also been popping Liber Bubonicus on this guy. So, why Janet brought this Lord? Let me show you. And this is really smart, and I didn't realize it in the battle, so bad on me. He's actually got 55 magic resistance. So that Liber Bubonicus, he doesn't really need to worry about it. But Janet also happened to bring the Master Rune of Oath and Seal, which I usually cut, but in this case is actually really useful, because now these Slayers actually have 60 armor since there are no Death Runners here, and he did a really good job of getting rid of those Death Runners. Anyway, as you can see, his backline is completely destroyed here, and now I'm just coming in and surrounding all these Slayers and his Rune Lord. But I have some more Death Runners over here who, as you can see, are being hit by the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin and are being absolutely destroyed. Summoned up some more Plague Monks, and they're working on these Dragonback Slayers, and they do pretty good against lightly armored units. But they're lightly armored themselves, so they won't do great against Dragonback Slayers. Here comes the Doomwheel, and I'm going to get a charge in here just to do some more damage. I'm going to pull him. I'm not going to leave him there for long, so he won't take too much damage. Again, summoning in more rats just to start hitting up these Slayers. And I just got these Slayers surrounded. Look how much I have, and honestly, and what they were yelling at me during the battle was I should have had these guys come around. But despite that, I do have a complete surround on them still. These Death Runners are actually not in combat there, so that's bad on me. Over here, he is two groups of Longbeards finally beat that one group of Death Runners, but it took forever. And the Plague Monks, along with the Death Runners, did a really good job at taking down these Dragonback Slayers. Now I'm going to go ahead, seeing that there's no infantry inundating all these troops, I'm going to go ahead and bring the Doomwheel back to the blob, because the Doomwheel is just going to perform much better in the blob here. As you can see, my opponent here, we just got him surrounded, but Man, the dwarves, especially the dwarven leadership, just doesn't want to die. Here comes the Doomwheel running in here, just hitting some dwarven slayers here. And it's not looking great. I got some routing going on right here, and I'm at this point in the battle, I'm like, are these dwarven lords gonna be able to tank through all this? And you know, while we're waiting, now that I know the Rune Lord has 55 magic resistance, let's see how much magic resistance the Thane has here. Should I have used my Liber Bubonicus on him? Man, why can't you click on units? So he's got magic resistance of 40. So honestly, I might have done well to actually use my Liber Bubonicus on a unit like the Slayers, because it does do pretty good damage to large entity units too. So over here, I still have the Lord Skrolk and the Assassin trying to go after this Rune Lord here, but he is such a tank. They've been beating on him the entire battle. So I got two very stabby lords here fighting against two very tanky lords here, and we're just getting nowhere with it. I'm gonna throw down another Rod of Corruption, but with all the magic resistance, it's not too great. But you know, we have it, and it's extra damage, so we definitely want to use it there. But at this point, it's kind of just a grind, as it usually breaks down with the dwarves. And but I just got too much left here. This Thane is doing an amazing job over here, but the Doomwheel's still alive. Both my lords are still alive, although they're very low. But both of his lords are also very low, so it's looking pretty good for me at this point. My units are coming back, and I am pulling them back from across the map wherever they have scurried to. And we're gonna go ahead and have this Assassin and this Doomwheel, as well as Lord Skrolk, just keep on hitting the Rune Lord here, and we finally get him to shatter, and there goes the rest of the Dwarven army. So we're gonna go ahead here and keep on hitting up these Slayers here, and we'll just go ahead and watch them die valiantly. And look at these guys, just fighting to the death, fulfilling their Slayer oaths. This is indeed a grudgeon, but they are doing their people proud. It's completely surrounded by rats. These two Slayers. Oh, that Assassin just took the head off of one. Here comes Skrolk over here, trying to fight this last Slayer, fighting against all odds. And here comes the Doomwheel into Platinum, finish them off. So a glorious death for sure, and very noble. I like it a lot. So that was the last game in me and Janet's best of 5, and it was a 3-0 sweep, but they were all really good games. Janet played very well, and I enjoyed playing them a lot, and I enjoyed playing a high tier player like Janet on occasion. Anyway, let's look at that battle breakdown. So as you can see, my fodder didn't get much, but they took a lot of damage. They took all those blasting charges, so they did their job, and they were definitely very useful. Skrolk and the Assassin didn't get too many kills. They were just beating up on these two heroes the entire game, and it took the entire game, but thankfully they didn't die because of the debuffs of the Assassin and Lord Skrolk's buffs and all that jazz. Clan Rats, more fodder. They got some kills, but look at this. 82, 62, 74, 81 on the Death Runners, 101, 69, 94 on the Stormvermin, 67 on the Doomwheel, which is actually kind of bad for a Doomwheel. But yeah, my killing power here, where I put all my money, they did their job, and they did very, very well. Over on the Dwarven side, looks like the Rune Lord got quite a few kills, as well as the Thane. All the minor blasting charges. I mean, he got a lot of kills across the board, but you gotta remember, a lot of that was Clan Rats and Slaves. And I gotta say, by the end of the match, he did do a really great job of killing all my Death Runners. But there were just too many Stormvermin left after concentrating on those Death Runners to be able to win that fight. So, I mean, look at the kills over here. 132, 75, 122, 115, 136. Just tons of kills all over the place. And the Bolt Thrower, despite me not bringing a lot of artillery, or any artillery, did a lot of damage to the Doomwheel. So, he brought it for anti-artillery, but it ended up working out pretty well against the Doomwheel. And did about half its health for 550 that the Bolt Thrower cost. So that's really good. But anyway, guys, that's going to be all for this one. And I'll see you on the next one. This is John Ton for Total Brohammer, signing out.